African Television Vision Cat. Our main guest of the day will be yours in a jiffy. Happy Easter once more, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Gospel Melody on Vision Cat Television. And our special guest of the day is here with me in the studio. He is called Michel Ngue-Awane. I'm always like Awane. So he's going to pronounce his name alone. Michel Ngue-Awane.
Michel Ngue-Awane.
Yeah, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awane is just like Awane.
Yes, but it's written with
people in the southwest.
That's correct, but it's written with Michel, A instead of E.
Yeah, just pronounce it.
Michel Ngue-Awane.
Ngue-Awane.
Yes.
You almost said it. So you're welcome once more to the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah, feel free, okay?
Thank you.
You are in your own house.
I can see that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Michel Ngue-Awane is a gospel artist. You know, he had to leave London, just to come and be part of this program. So, you know, on Gospel Melody, our guests are always special. So, it's a Nepal. Yeah, okay, you're welcome once more. Tell us about your career as a gospel artist. Why gospel?
I'm a Christian. I've known God since, I think, let me say that I wasn't a Christian. I did philosophy. And when I wasn't a Christian, I thought God did not exist. So I spent my time criticizing God, criticizing religion. So in 1997, I traveled to Ghana. I was on the plane from Ghana to Burkina Faso. I met a young pastor. I was with a group of young ladies, because I went on a mission there. But a young pastor approached me. He told me that I was a pastor. I said, why would you waste your life doing pastoring? What is it that day? And I thought that he was following girls that were with me. You see what I mean? But he was so nice, so simple, and so kind and loving. So we discussed, and he said, okay, when you get there, please, I have my church. You can come and do some translation, because I speak English and French. But he was from Nigeria, don't only speaking French, okay, English. So I went there, and I was just listening. I was there because he was paying me. On Sunday, I didn't have anything to do, so that I would just go there. He paid me my monies. So one day, it was Easter like this, like today. Wow. And when I was translating, something was penetrating in my soul. So every time, but that Sunday, that Easter Sunday, he spoke. I found myself on my knees.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So even my friend, because I invited a lot of friends that day to come and see what I'm doing, I invited them to come and see me translating, so to see me how I translate.
So you
to boast.
Yeah,
I was converted that day. And that's how I gave my life to Christ. And I can say that my life have changed from that time to now.
Positively?
So, positively. People who don't know God, they don't know what they're missing. And, programs like this should highlight how important the spiritual aspect is good for people's life, in people's life. And I do appreciate what you're doing for people, because it helps people to understand that you cannot have a good balance without a spiritual stability. It's not possible. And you can see that where people go here and there, that's what they're finding themselves. And that stability with yourself is when you find your soul, when you find your spiritual.
So how did the music part of you come out?
I would say that I grew up in a small village called Seku in Sanchu. And it was about 15 kilometers from the city. Okay. And there was no school in the village. So, and children that live in the village, children from the village, they live in the city to go to school. Yeah. But I was the only child that lived in the village and went to school every day. Okay. So I was alone in that bush, in that forest. You know that in Sanju you have cobras, you have elephant, you have buffalo animals, wild animals there. So I was alone. So I would go to school, and I would cry almost every day when I was going there. And also sometimes coming back, I would cry. But most of the time, I will fill that gap with singing. Okay. So during lunchtime, I would stay in the city. It's just one road. I would stay there and listen to all musics that were coming. Mm-hmm. And I listen when I'm going back home. I would be singing. So my activity during the weekend was that I do fishing. Fishing. So when I was doing fishing, I would be singing. So, and that's how I developed a passion for singing. So when I started to when I went to college, we founded a music club.
Okay.
And I have friends today that are well-known musicians in Cameroon. I won't name them, but they're well-known in music. But I saw
Were these songs actually gospel songs, or were just like general music?
No, I think I always, even though I wasn't Christian, I knew that God has called me since the youth, because most of my songs are spiritually orientated.
Yeah. So when actually did you go into music professionally? For how long has that been?
Yes, I would say this year. Some of my songs that I have today, I wrote them about 20 years ago and went to the studio about 20 years ago. But I didn't want anyone to pay to be my label, any label to produce me. I'd said to God, if you gave me the possibility to be a bit wealthier, I would produce my music myself. And just this year.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, because this year during the COVID, I had more time at my disposal.
Okay.
And then I said that was a time for me to go to the studio. And what came out is tremendous. If you listen to my album, you cry, because it's not a product of one day. Even though
how
you
many
can see
songs are in that album?
It's about 12. I have 12 songs.
Okay, maybe we should ask Willie Chunke to give us one of those songs, the title Yesu, right?
Thank you, yeah.
Yesu.
Thanks.
So it's time for us to watch one of his songs with the title Yesu. We'll be commenting on the song just after the clip.
Thank you.
Je dépends de toi, Seigneur. Ma vie est en toi et je dépends de toi, Seigneur. Ma confiance est en toi. Je dépends de toi, Seigneur. Ma vie est en toi et je dépends de toi, Seigneur. My life is in you. I bow before your throne. Ma confiance est en toi. Je dépends de toi, Seigneur. Confiance est en toi, oh Seigneur, je dépends de toi, oh Seigneur. My life is in you, oh my Lord. I bow down before you, oh my Lord. Akakazambwe, akakazambwe, mga ye witizambwe, I witizambwe, akakazambwe. Akakazambwe, mena ye with the Zambwe, I with the Zambwe.
That was a nice piece out there.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You can have your seat.
Thank you.
Wow. So you're going to tell me about this song. What language is that?
Okay, you can see that the song is mixture between Yemba, which is the language spoken in Chang.
Okay, Yemba.
Yemba, that's called Yemba. Yeah, that's the Yemba language. Okay. And also combination with French and English.
Yeah.
I would say that the inspiration comes from God, because even so I say Akakazambu, it's not the word that people would not think that is that language.
Like
Akakazambu way, that means you are my all in all.
Akakazambo.
Yes, yes.
Wow. I just love the language is actually good in music.
That's what many people didn't know. Wow. Many people didn't know that you can use the language that people think that is very difficult to speak with or to use, to sing. If you hear all my songs, none of them are in Yemba. None of my songs. Two of them are a combination
really
of Douala.
Culture,
Yes, yes, because I realized that people are no longer speaking the language.
Yeah.
And in Europe, I really discovered that my culture was very important for me.
Identity.
It was part of my identity when I went to Europe. Some of the songs, I wrote them because I was missing Cameroon.
Wow.
And then I realized that I cannot be defined as myself without my culture, and language is part of myself, who I am.
Yeah, maybe you should just give a hello to your people of Sancho. Is it Sancho?
Yes, Sancho and Chan. Sancho, where I grew up, yeah.
In your maternal language.
Yes.
Happy Easter.
Okay. Je vous souhaite.
No.
I want everyone to enjoy my music, so I'm not going to be sick. I will just say happy Easter to everyone. Happy Easter to everyone in the southeast, in the southwest of Cameroon, northwest of Cameroon, and in the west of Cameroon. And also, je vous souhaite vraiment joyeuse fête de Pâques, parce que sans Jésus, nous ne serons pas là aujourd'hui. C'est lui qui nous a donné la nouvelle chance, une bonne chance.
All right.
Vraiment, je vous souhaite. Et aussi,
I wanted you to speak in the dialect.
That's what I said in the last.
Okay, it's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Gospel Melody, and we are with a special guest, Michel Ngue-Awane. Yeah, I got it right this time.
That's good, thanks.
So tell us, what has been your challenges all this while, ever since you started music professionally?
Yeah, I think the challenge is to get the music to be listened to. You know, it's the promotion.
Okay.
It's very, very complicated. It's a very, very complicated business, because I thought it was that I'm a businessman by nature. I know that if you go here, you want to do things, the rules are just straight. You just do your business. But since started music as a profession now, I realized that it's not straightforward as people would think. So you need to know people, and you need to know how to go about
people. Talking about knowing people, do you have any relation with other artists, gospel artists?
Yeah, Samuel is, I work with her, and I have other gospel artists that I know already. In London, I know a handful of artists because in my church, we receive them all the time.
Yeah, so do you have any, can you give me 5 Cameroonian gospel artists that you really like or love their songs?
That's a challenge for me. Not just because it's a challenge, because I know Samuel, I know who again, I know Eldonel, I know who again in Cameroon. No, it's a challenge because you putting me on the spot.
You have some Cameroonian.
Yeah. No, not just Cameroonian, because Cameroonian don't sing. I know Sister Laura, who's in London, she sings gospel, but most of the time, you can see that most of the artists that I know I want to emulate is their Nigerian or American artists, because I'm in a church where we invite American and Nigerian artists all the time. Like
there are a whole lot of Cameroonian gospel artists that it's your homework I'm giving you. Just type YouTube Cameroon gospel music.
I need to start on my homework.
A lot. Do you know of Elizabeth Teke?
I have heard of her.
You've heard of Evangelist Ben Awabi. You've heard of G4. You've heard of Pearl. You've heard of they're just.
Thank you.
I have those names coming, and I don't know, Corazon.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You know what I'll do? I'll go and do my homework now, and I'll try to approach them, see how far we can work.
Because Cameroon gospel music presently is taking another dimension.
And that's good to know.
Another dimension, both in their melody, their clips.
Okay.
Yeah. You saw your own clip is actually a good clip.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's what a lot more are doing.
I think now when I get to London, I will put like Cameroonian gospel artists instead of putting gospel music, because I play it all the time.
You have to identify yourself as a Cameroonian gospel. Cameroonian gospel artist.
Yeah.
Michel.
Ngue-Awane. Thank you.
So they'll easily identify you from. So apart from music, what else do you do?
I'm a consultant. I'm a businessman.
Okay.
But I'm a consultant. I do and specialize in procurement and restructuring. I do a company restructuring as well. So I advise.
I know you're also a writer.
Yes, I'm a writer as well. I've written books that has been used as course book.
All right.
So my first book was called Practice Guide to Social Housing. Through that book, I put a lot of people use that as course book to go to work in the government.
All right.
And my second book is called Above the Colonial Subconscious, Africa Moves. Right. It's just about how we can reshape our thinking to be who we want to be.
All right. I know you have the third and the fourth and the fifth book, but you're not going to leave this studio without us doing a short a cappella.
Yes.
So since today is Easter Sunday, it's about Christ being alive. So I want us to sing this short song. It's very popular.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Amen. He's alive. Amen. Jesus is alive, forever he's alive, amen. He's alive, amen. He's alive. Jesus is alive, forever he's alive, amen.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a special guest, Michel Ngue-Awane. You can get him on YouTube. Yeah,
YouTube, Michel Ngue-Awane. Facebook, Michel Ngue-Awane. Google, you see Michel Ngue-Awane. I use the same name throughout.
Michel, like M-I-C-H-E-L.
Yes, Ngue-Awane. N-G-U-E-A-W-A-N-E.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, and as usual, we leave the studio by dancing.
Yeah.
But before we dance out of the studio, we're going to use one of your songs, the title...
is it Penning?
Penning, yeah.
Okay.
What's the meaning of penning?
Penning is stop.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop the violence.
Stop the hate. Stop jealousy. Stop jealousy. Stop being thing. God is our creator.
Yeah, so before penning, I was about saying something. Okay, your last word to your fans. So that's your camera there. You're going to look straight into the eyes of your the televiewers and your fans and tell them something.
Hello. Thank you very much for being my fans.
And
that's first thing. Oh yeah. I want to encourage you to just try to listen to my music. What you listen today is just an extract of what I'm doing. My music is encouraging. If you try to listen to it, I know that by the time you listen once, twice, you will love it. The melody is just coming from heaven, I can tell you. Just, it's varied, it's not just one. You will just not discover only one thing in my music. You will have varieties that represent your culture, that remind you of yourself and your youth. Because I want people to understand that Cameroonian music can stay authentic, but also current. Also, je vous dis, je vous remercie d'abord de m'écouter, surtout d'écouter ma musique. Je suis présent sur toutes les plateformes, Michel Ngue-Awane sur toutes les plateformes, mais surtout, je vous remercie de m'accompagner. Écoutez ma musique 1, 2, 3 fois. Surtout, partagez ma musique. C'est ce que, si vous voulez me faire une faveur, partagez ma musique. Vous n'êtes pas des pirates, vous êtes les promoteurs de ma musique. C'est ce que je vais vous dire.
Thank you very much, Michel Ngue-Awane. Thank you very much for getting out of the studios of Vision Cat Television Studio 2. And we shall be dancing to the tune of Michel Ngue-Awane with a song titled
Peneng.
Peneng. Peneng means stop the violence. So Willie Chunke, who is behind the 10,000 buttons in Studio 2, will be giving us the song title Peneng. Meanwhile, we shall be having a rebroadcast of this program on Thursday as from 4 p.m. Thank you very much and enjoy your Easter Sunday. Ciao.
Peneng solo peneng, 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 peneng solo peneng. Mami Jackie, Mami Julie, Mi Amandoni, Benguititae, Mi Amakapto, oh oh, Mami Polie, so Mami Jackie, Mami Julie, Mi Amandoni, Benguititae, Mi Amakapto, oh oh, Mami Polie, Sol Quickamboué, Sol Quickamboué, Sol Quickamboué, Sol Quickamboué, Dizenda Soué, Mami Jackie, Mami Julia, Mi Amendonia, Bangitita, Mi Amekapto.
You've done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. If I had 10,000 tongues, it still wouldn't be enough.